8:45, 9 o'clock ish, and then I spend like an hour, hour and a half trying to get him down, which is good. He's like, I'm standing up with him. He finally falls asleep. 2020 0814. Film making and podcast insights. And you spend an hour, you know what I mean? You spend an hour, hour and a half, like rocking the kiddo to sleep, and you go ahead and put him down, and then not 5 minutes later he wakes back up, and it's just like exhausting because like by that time it's like it's literally the end of the day, and that little sliver of time is like, that's our time. But you don't really get to decide that when you do have kids, like when it's you got babies. It's like, well, you got to put the baby to sleep. And so we try to take turns and trade off or whatever. But by the time it happens, we're both exhausted. We're like, oh, whatever, let's go to sleep. And so yesterday, I really wanted to kind of prioritize it. I was like, regardless, we are like having our date. We'll figure out rocking this baby to sleep. We're gonna eat some good food. Put the kids to bed and get on with it. So I felt good about that. I felt, happy that we were able to just get some time. Social media, we're almost done on this one. 2020 08 14. Social media. I don't need to write out the rest of this. Just social media. Let's see. Yeah, we're almost at the end of this page. Like this page is just tremendously long now. Tech reviews, edit, modules, and I've kind of talked about this before, but like your website is not like an end all like money maker. Like it takes a lot of brand, it takes a lot of grit, it takes a lot of like loyalty for it to really become something that is rolling in the dough or the money or whatever. And I suggest, like I've suggest all the time, is it's just a tool. You know what I mean? Like this is a good spot. Like if I'm on a Zoom and I'm talking to a client or whatever, I could just come here real quick and be like, yeah, I did this film about the DJI Mavic Mini, carry creativity. We can watch a couple seconds of it. I can talk about it. All this stuff is just hard work that I've put in, and it's all just here for me to kind of reference and use. But doesn't mean that it's going to absolutely make me money or sell anything. It's just like you gotta put in the grit, the work. Yeah, let's see, gear software. This whole list obviously needs to be updated. This is sad. This was the setup right here. Like literally, if I look back at this is all I really needed plus a tripod. And oh man, if you guys haven't followed this or whatever, I left this camera at Walmart and someone stole it a couple months back. It was just one of those things where I just left it in the cart, forgot about it, and went back in, and she gone. But move on. 2020 08 14. Is it 14? Yeah, 14. Gear. I'm gonna say gear. I don't even know if I've been writing out the section anymore, but gear. So it's kind of been on autopilot. An Asheville Adventures. I think that's it after that. Yay, we're at the very end. Sweet. Save as row. Asheville Adventures. If you guys have not, watching this is dope. That's cool. And I really appreciate anyone that does hang around and chill with me. But if you also don't have the time, I do post a lot of the stuff to the podcast too. So if you didn't know, and you love podcasts, there is a Will Mosley podcast that you could also partake in and listen to. Oh, I'm just gonna pop up a random banner real quick. Oh man, that live little scroll thing has still been going. Let's pop that off. That thing's annoying. Well, it's like a newscaster thing. Just trying stuff out. 2020 Asheville Adventures, and then we'll save this, and yeah, sweet. Now we're going to do one last save. We're going to print save our entire page before I destroy this. Save template. And remember, all this stuff, like I said, is all, we're doing a lot of all this in Beaver Builder right now. So this takes a lot of fuss out of like maintenance. So if you're really thinking about like, can I, will I be able to manage my website? Am I going to break it? All this type of stuff. Like, Beaver Builder does a lot. There's a lot of custom code stuff that I write out every single day, and I handle massive $1 million website that requires a lot of other things that go on. But like for the vast majority of us, let's see, 2020, let's see, home, you can get away with, like, as long as it's, set up, and take it that design is, key. Getting a good understanding of design is important. But once it's kind of set, it's really easy to kind of maintain and just, go about it. All right. So now, if for anyone that is new that possibly popped in, what we're doing is, this page is super long. We're pretty much dividing this out into pages. And you might be like, oh, well, those are pages right there. No, they're just hard, it jumps down to the sections that are there. So we're just going to divide it out, just because the page is just getting too long. Oh, did we save the Mosley? Yeah, we saved the Mosley one. So let's go ahead and create a new page. We'll just call it Mosley. Why not? Mosley. Make sure it says page. Publish. And then let's go to Beaver Builder. And this will probably be another like tedious task of us just like going in and clicking on our saved modules, not modules, rows, rows, saved, rows, saved rows. There we go. Mostly pulling her over, and then all it is, that's it. Just done. Publish. The reason why this whole thing is like a black thing is I'm using a custom piece of code that I wrote out that then auto fills it whenever it loads up. Now, something else that we could do is at the bottom of each of these pages, we can have some sort of footer information, like to continue the experience. Not there yet, probably won't do it today, but that's just another thing to think about, like, so that when someone gets down to the end of the page, like, okay, well, it's the end of the page, you can add something else that continues them moving, whether that's blog posts, whether that's,